Support for 100 Watts and a Wire is brought to you by 100wattsandawire.com. To subscribe to the show, simply click the RSS feed or subscribe wherever you get your podcast. When you visit, apply for your free 100 Watts ID and learn how you can become a sustaining member. Click the donate page and pick the option that works best for you. We've got a traveling toolkit, 100 Watts and a Wire gear, and activity days with prizes. That's 100wattsandawire.com. Heard it, worked it, logged it. It is time to get the transceiver that is best suited for your lifestyle. ICOM offers a variety of high-performance and innovative products. Visit icomamerica.com/amateur and make the most out of contest season.
And now, from Grid Square Echo Mike 48, this is 100 Watts and a Wire.
Hey now, it's Christian. My call sign is Kilo Zero Sierra Tango Hotel. How's it going for you? All right, I'm glad to hear it. Things are going okay for me. A little frustrating this week. I've been working with, I know I've said it before, I love HF so much that it is really hard for me to take on a digital mistress. But I gotta be honest, I'm flirting with D-Star, and it's not new. It's not new. I've had a DVAP dongle before. I've been set up on my HT. I've made some contacts. I'm trying to come clean. But actually, I'm trying to make a change over from the DVAP to this ZUM, Z-U-M hotspot. Oh, Lord, I made the build. I bought the case to put it in. And there are some videos to help you through that process. Very helpful, and it was good. It was a kit. You buy a kit, from HRO, and you've got this. I don't know if they're calling it the ZUM or ZUM. Anyway, I'm trying to get hooked up on the D-Star, and I want some different options. It opens the world up for me a little bit more than the old school DVAP. Well, this weekend has been all about trying to get my radios programmed. I want the D-Star on the radios, blah, 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 getting that all sorted out. I got one program on a Mac. I got two others on the PC. I'm like, what the hell? And I've come to the conclusion that putting the RT Systems programming software, and before you jump in my shishi about programming my radio, I know how to do that too. I know how to do that. I can program my radio. I like the RT Systems software to help me move things around if I want to. If I put on a repeater when I travel, blip, 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 put it in there. And it's easier for me because it's time saving. Don't break my balls about using a piece of software. Be that as it may, RT Systems makes great stuff and they're not a sponsor, but I do use them and I've used them. But I had a situation going where I had to have a PC laptop, which makes me a little nutty because it's a little different than my Mac ecosystem. Don't break my balls for using a Mac. I use them both. Anyway, I downloaded a piece of software for my 51A HT, the handheld radio. And the rest of them are on and I thought, I got to move this over. This is a pain. This is bad. And then I've got a beautiful old ICOM. It's not even old. It's just several generations old now, away from the 51A HT. It's called the 92AD, and I love it. It's bigger. I don't know. I just love the radio. I just love it. It's a handheld. Well, back when I got this thing, this had a CD. You remember the CDs? People of a certain age are like, a CD, of course. I was there when AM and FM and cassette tapes and 8-tracks. And they were in the car, right? Of course. Well, people don't use CDs anymore. I mean, you do, but anyway, they're not even really built into newer laptops and that sort of deal. So everything's software, digital downloads. So I'm talking to RT Systems, like, what can I do here with this? I'm holding the CD in my hand. Wait, can you send me a picture of that? I'm like, do you want to put it in a museum? Can I just get it, So I spent a lot of time trying to program these radios, and D-Star is just, it's part of that package. And I like it. And when I got the HT years ago, I wanted to be able to reach as far as I could because I knew that I couldn't get on HF. I didn't have the funds to put together an HF station at the time. It probably took me 3 years to get on HF. That said, when I found HF, I fell in love. I started working DX entities, long range. DX is another term for long distance. Say working from Missouri to New Zealand or Australia or Germany, outside of the continental U.S. So I bought this radio. It had D-Star, and I thought, well, this is a way that I can kind of be international and learn some stuff. But, I had it there, but then I put it down, and I just like to have it. So now I'm kind of like, want to have it around again. And I've been getting help from John Amadeo, and Hams know him because of his work on Last Man Standing. And I think he's earning his halo, or if angels get the wings. Because I'm so twisted up. And he's like, try this. But I got this ZUM hotspot deal. Got the case for it. Put it together over the weekend. I was quite proud of myself. It's not a sophisticated build, and there's videos out there that help you through it. That said, I put it together backwards, upside down. I took it apart several times, put it back together. It works now, but it works in the way that it lights up. Getting this thing connected to the Wi-Fi now, that's my final step, and I am out of my mind. John is sending me articles and links about this and videos, and I can't get to this website. I can't make this connection. I can't make the hotspot work right now. That said, I've only spent several hundred hours trying to figure it out. It's nothing about the company. It's me. I'm having a difficult time. The DVAP for me didn't seem, you downloaded the software in your computer, you punched in the right things, and there you go. You make the connection linked. This thing is so sexy, but it's like, I don't know. I just can't figure it out, man. Get over my knee, man. It's run it over in the truck. It's not quite that dramatic, but there's so many benefits to it. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, this is like it's a pie. It's a pie. It's a Raspberry Pi sort of thing, and I'm trying to make it talk to a Mac. And don't say that's your first problem. It's a problem no matter what. I'm trying both. I'm just trying to connect it to the Wi-Fi to make it do what the thingy does. What do you guys call it? The YouTubers? Now, the YouTube guys, they're real savvy. For one, y'all are moving way too fast. You're moving way too fast. When you're giving instructions, click, slow down. Slow down. Remember, the audience came there looking for help, not to see how fast you can do it. I don't care about you. Show me how to do it. Slow down. And there's some videos how to build it. That's cool. That's all good. Guys, please do a video about this thing and how you link it and where to go in the modern age. Because I was watching one, and there's a couple out there, and it's like, here, you do this, and now you go to this website on your browser. The son of a bitch doesn't open. It doesn't. There's no website for that. Why? Okay. Troubleshooting. I got to do more troubleshooting. So the Raspberry Pi thing, I almost said Raspberry Beret up in here. You can tell I'm missing Prince. I'll listen to some Prince today. So thank you to John for being patient with me. He has helped me a great deal with programming my radios, and he really loves D-Star. He really does love D-Star, and he uses this Raspberry Pi, ZUM, And I've been working hard to try to figure it out. That's it. Take a little break. We'll come back. We need to talk about, jeez, we're in fall. Can you believe it, guys? The weather is going to break. The weather is going to break, and it is almost time for fallout. Tell your friends. Get your antennas prepared. Let's try to get outside one last time. Work a park. Work a summit. Work an island. Get out there and just work in your yard. That might be what I'm doing. Work mobile. Work in your base station. Let's get on the air and work each other. We'll talk about that more next.
The Kilo station again? Kilo Zero Sierra Tango Hotel. You're 5'9". Right.
Brothers and sisters of the Hamily, make the most out of contest season with one of these ICOM radios. How about the IC7610? The SDR every ham wants. This high-performance SDR has the ability to pick out the faintest of signals even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. The IC7610 is a direct sampling software-defined radio that will change the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. Dual Digi-Select RF direct sampling system, an independent dual receiver. And let's not forget the IC7300, changing the way entry-level HF is designed. Visit ICOMAmerica.com/amateur to learn more about all ICOM radios.
100 watts and a wire. Activity days.
October the 11th through the 13th is the 100 watts and a wire fallout. Call CQ Fallout. Give your call sign, your 100 watt ID if you have one, your state, province, or DX country, a true signal report. From October the 11th through the 13th, it is not a contest. However, this year I am going to require that you make at least 25 contact points. And here's the point system. A general contact work, it's 1 point. Working a station with a 100 watt ID, that's 2 points. Easy. If you work a special ops station, that is 5 points. You work your way to 25 on the honor system. And here's why we're doing a point system this year. Coffee, please. Coffee. Breaking in a new intern. There's also some lawn mowing happening. And perhaps a helicopter. We are not as controlled in the studio setting. Chameleon's going to give an antenna. MFJ is going to give a tuner. Radio Waves is giving away 2 antennas. CQ Magazine's going to give away 6 3-year digital subscriptions. Comet's going to give away an analyzer. PowerFilm Solar's going to give away a solar panel, alpha antenna, a tripod with a hex antenna. BioNO Power is going to give away a lithium battery with a charger. We're up to about $2,000 worth of prizes, and I figure, you know what? If you want to get involved, if you want to win a prize, at least engage enough to get 25 contacts. We're going to use the honor system. You're nothing if you don't have your honor, correct? That's right. Visit 100wattsandawire.com and click the activities page. Learn more about the random drawing. It is all random, not a contest. Work as many as you can, but if you look to win a prize, you need to at least work 25. Okay, all the information is there for you. The point system, the exchange, very simple. Engage people. Tell them about the community. Work some people, get on the air that weekend, October the 11th through the 13th. When we come back, Neil Rapp will teach us about the youth next.
Negative copy on the Alpha Hotel. This is 100 watts and a wire.
SNS Engineering, an engineering design firm specializing in hardware and industrial design. From concept to production, we have a range of 19-inch rack mount solutions for Elecraft, ICOM, and Kenwood radios. Also available are tabletop aluminum racks to streamline your installation for desktop use. Custom designs are our specialty. Visit us online at snsengineering.com.
Can't we shut down that infernal transmitter?
Hi again. It's Neil, WB9VPG from Ham Talk Live and the Next Gen Contesters contributing editor for the National Contest Journal, back with this month's Young Ham Tip. It's a busy time of year right now. There's a lot of special event stations, Hamfests, and contests. But there's always one that's a big one for youth, and that's School Club Roundup. School Club Roundup is a Monday through Friday event to encourage schools to get on the air. But it's not just schools talking to other schools. These students need other hams to contact, and that's where you come in. You can set up a station at a school and enter the school club class, or you can get on the air yourself throughout the week and make contacts with schools. The kids love to work pile-ups, and they often get those during School Club Roundup. Doesn't matter if you're an elementary, middle, or high school, a homeschool, or a college or university. They all count as a school classification. And you don't have to have a school call sign either. Give your report as school. And if you work a school, they will want an exchange, kind of like a contest. But the exchange is pretty simple. It's just a signal report, the state that you're in, or country if you're outside the U.S., and what your class is. Now, the class, there's only 3. There's individual, club, and school. So most people would be in the individual class. If you happen to be working at a club station, then you would be club, and you do count for more points that way. And then if you're at a school, even if it's a homeschool, that counts as a school, and that's worth a lot more points for those kids that are working the radio. But most importantly, just get on and talk to the schools. And whether it's on a simplex frequency locally or whether it's on HF, give these students some contacts and practice time on the radio. You can find many of the schools on the spotting networks during School Club Roundup. And the Fall School Club Roundup is the 3rd week of October, so it's coming up before you know it. And there's another one the 2nd week of February as well. You can work each school once per band per mode. For 100 Watts in a Wire, I'm Neil, WB9 VPG. Good night, John Boy.
Oh, do you remember the Waltons? Oh, I so much wanted to live in that house. They seemed like a family that had it all together. Mine? No, but the Waltons. I wanted them to say, "Good night, Christian," and yell down in the basement where it was cold and dark and damp. And, that's where I would be happy, in the Waltons' house. I think we're showing our age just a little bit here. And I don't know why he said it and called me John Boy. He could be slipping. He just celebrated a birthday. He went from being the youngest ham ever to being just like you and me. Jesus, can we get rid of the weed whacking, huh? Oh. Turning it over to another couple of nitwits. There was a Hamfest this weekend in Peoria. I wanted to hear what was going on, so let's peek on in.
This is a report about the Peoria, Illinois Superfest. This is Paul Brown, and I am here with amateur radio's own Don Wilbanks. We spent the day here in Peoria, Illinois. Don was the invited keynote speaker, or at least one of the... They had a forum where they had Don get up and talk about stuff.
We had a forum.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
We had a forum at 10:30 in the morning with Paul was there, and he actually spoke lucidly for a change. And we had Young Ham of the Year, Drew Vreba, KC9 Zulu, Juliet X-Ray, and his family. And it was a great little forum. We had a good time.
It was a nice fest. They were a little disappointed in the turnout this year because, frankly, the weather sucked. It rained. We had a rainstorm in the morning, and then it was scattered rain on and out throughout the day. And the forecast doesn't look any better for Sunday, so that did affect the amount of people. They said normally on a good year they'll have 1,500 to 2,000 people show up. That's pretty good for a local ham fest.
And it's an outdoor ham fest, which makes it that much worse as far as the weather goes. But weather could have been a lot worse. But I thought, I don't have anything to judge it by from previous experience, being this was my first time up here. But I thought it was a great ham fest. Well worth the trip up here.
Absolutely. It's very friendly. The flea market is pretty large. I found exactly what I came looking for within like the first 15 minutes. And then, got a few other things. Indoor vendor space, and then they do have various forums throughout the day. They had one talking about the upcoming Pitcairn Island D-Expedition. Then Don and Drew and I talked about Amateur Radio Newsline and Ham Nation and the Young Ham of the Year Award. Then Joe Eisenberg, the kit building wizard, gave a little workshop on building a kit. Everybody who signed up for it got to build the little QRP Kits wall wart tamer, which is a neat little board that goes in between a inexpensive wall wart and gives you voltage regulation and filter capacitors and cleans everything up. And
a very cool little kit, too, because it takes both AC or DC on the input, since it has a full wave rectifier, and it spits out nicely regulated DC from about 1.5 trimmable up to whatever the supply voltage is, I guess. We were using computer power supply, so mine went up to about 16 watts or 16 volts. But a little trimmer pot on it and some really big filter capacitors would make a really nice low voltage or low wattage bench supply if you were into kit building, so you could power something right then and there on your bench. And very small, you could put it in a nice little enclosure and put some of those cool little digital volt and ammeters on there and have a nice little variable power supply, low current, for your kit building projects. Very, very cool little kit.
Yeah, and best of all is the whole idea was Joe is big on encouraging people to build things. He writes columns for CQ Magazine all about kit building, and he gives these talks around the country. And a lot of the people who were in this had never built or soldered anything before. Now, I kind of had an advantage. I built my first Heath kit when I was in 7th grade, so I've been doing this for a while, but a lot of them had never done it. So it's learning how to put components in a board, learning how to read the components and read a schematic and read a parts placement diagram. And then the really key part is learning how to solder neatly. So a lot of people learned.
Yeah, and it was great. Everybody put it together properly, and they all worked, which is the best part. And you get to take it home, and you're ready to rock for your next little kit building project, and with a little bit more experience under your belt. Yeah, it was a really cool experience. And Joe's a great guy, and if you would like Joe to come and do a kit building for him at your Hamfest or your event, just Google him, K0NEB, and put him in QRZ, and you'll get his email address, and he'll be happy to talk to you about that.
Yeah. Now, a lot of you have seen, if you've been to Xenia or Dayton in years past, and he reserves this, it's a special thing for Dayton. Joe's the guy walking around with the really big, tall, red and white Cat in the Hat hat. And he does the video wrap up of the year with set to music and all that. He's been doing that every year, but his primary thing is kit building, and he's really, really big on that. So fests like this, you don't have the exhibits from the big manufacturers, but you do have a nice assortment of dealers out there selling their wares in the building in the center, and then you've got the flea market, and then the club has got a raffle. Little hourly drawings, and the big drawing, there's ICOM 7300 and some other things that I'm pretty sure somebody else will get mine.
And a Flex.
Yeah. And then
Flex is the big one.
They had a separate raffle for a Flex that they were giving away. So as soon as they sell the required amount of tickets for that, they'll pull that, and I'll be able to watch somebody else walk away with that one too.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So all in all, a good time was had, and as far as we know so far, the police haven't been called, and this
is not a city that shows up on live TV, so we won't be on TV this weekend.
Yeah, you won't see us on Cops. So this is it, Christian. You asked for a report, so you got one. This is Paul, WD9GCO, and
Don, AE5DW.
For 100 watts and a wire. Back to you, Christine.
Ain't that a bitch?
100 wires and a what?
Ain't that a bitch? A little bit of history there on 100 watts and a wire. The last ever report by Paul Brown and Don Wilbanks on the show. It will not be going to the Museum of Broadcasting in Washington. Why is it? Why? And you know what the connection is? Amateur Radio Newsline. Do we treat each other like this? You know, like I'm the little brother of the bunch, and I think I'm older than Neil. Just got to be picking on your boy. Well, how would you like to do ham radio with one eye? That wasn't a threat at all. It wasn't a threat at all. I just need to eat a little bit. All right, guys, a little fun this week. Thanks to the boys for contributing to the show. Thank you for listening. I appreciate that. Please get the word out about the 100 Watts in a Wire Fallout. You know it's coming up October the 11th through the 13th. Anytime, any band, any mode. Lots of great prizes in the random drawing. There is a way to get yourself qualified for that 25 contact points. You can do that easily. Sit down whenever you can in the overnight. Any mode, I don't care. I don't care. Get on the air. Have some fun. Let's blow it out here before we get into the dead of winter and we're sitting in the shack just trying to stay warm. I'm going to try to get out and exercise. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And by all means, if you can, please try and stay above the lawnmower noise and the other noise and stuff.
To join the 100 Watts in a Wire community, visit 100wattsindawire.com.